In the following video, we're going to cover Alzheimer's disease. We're going to begin with an overview, key terms, symptoms, physiology, and the treatment. So, Alzheimer's disease is a chronic neurodegenerative disorder marked by the progressive decline of cognitive function due to neuronal death and synaptic loss. It primarily affects memory, thinking, and behavior, leading to severe impairment in daily life. As the most common form of dementia, Alzheimer's accounts for approximately 60 to 80% of dementia cases. Now let's go over key terms. So, neuronal degeneration is the gradual breakdown and death of nerve cells. Synaptic dysfunction is impairment in the connections between neurons that affect communication. Beta amyloid plaques are clumps of misfolded proteins that accumulate outside neurons and disrupt communication. Tau protein is a structural protein that stabilizes neurons but becomes dysfunctional in Alzheimer's. Hyperphosphorylation is the excessive addition of the phosphate group to tau proteins, causing them to detach and form tangles. Neurofibrillary tangles are twisted tau proteins that aggregate inside neurons. And then neuroinflammation is chronic inflammation in the brain, contributing to neural damage. So, early symptoms of this disease are episodic memory deficits, which is where individuals struggle to recall recent events and misplace stuff and repeat questions. And then lexical retrieval difficulties, which is trouble finding the right words during a conversation, leading to pauses and vague descriptions. Later on, spatial disorientation occurs, which makes it difficult to navigate familiar places and recognize their surroundings. And executive dysfunction, which is impairing problem-solving skills, decision-making, and the ability to make a normal daily task. Later than that, behavioral and personality changes become evident, including agitation, mood swings, withdrawal, motor impairment, poor coordination, and difficulty walking. This is due to neurodegeneration. Eventually, the disease will affect autonomic functions, leading to difficulty swallowing, bladder control, and dependence. So the physiology, we're going to go over plaques and tangles. So beta amyloid is a proteolytic fragment derived from the amyloid precursor protein, which is involved in synaptic plasticity and neural homeostasis. In Alzheimer's, these undergo aberrant cleavage by B secretase and Y secretase enzymes, which leads to the overproduction of insoluble beta amyloid peptides. These peptides aggregate into oligomers and fibrils, forming plaques that interfere with synaptic signaling and induce microglial activation, leading to chronic neural inflammation. So here we have a animation of it. So we have the secretase enzymes clipping the beta amyloid. These beta amyloids will then go out and they'll end up clumping because they tend to stick together. So here we have the beta amyloid clumping all over here. And then that will block synaptic signaling, and without the signaling, that will lead to the brain becoming inflamed. So here we have the brain inflammation. So this is one of the major signs of Alzheimer's disease, the beta amyloid plaque. And now tau neurofibrillary tangles. So tau is a microtubule-associated protein that stabilizes axonal transport networks, important for communication. So in Alzheimer's, tau undergoes hyperphosphorylation, which causes detachment from the microtubules and aggregation into paired helical filaments. So these tangles compromise the cytoskeletal integrity, leading to impaired intracellular transport, neuronal dysfunction, and apoptosis. So the propagation of tau pathology correlates strongly with disease progression and cognitive decline. So here we have an animation of the tau tangles. So we have the microtubule, which is like a track that signals can travel along in a neuron. And then these tau protons, or proteins, which are right here, become all tangled up, which will kind of make the microtubule not even, make gaps in it, and just mess up the whole communication of the neuron. Because the microtubule is like a track, and signals will travel along that track, and they can't when these tau tangles happen because they prevent it. So therefore, communication within our neurons and brain will be greatly demised. Treatment for Alzheimer's. So there's no definitive treatment so far, but recent advances in therapeutics aim to decelerate the disease progression. So there are monoclonal antibodies that can target beta amyloid aggregates to mitigate plaque deposition and help slow down the progression. And then there's also research on tau targeting therapies and neuroinflammation modulators that can be a promising avenue for intervention. So thank you for watching.